Did you have a diary growing up, or do you have a diary now where you write out the things you've done for the day, where you write your deepest thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations, and so on? Welcome to day 49 of the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge, where I'll be showing you how you can create a diary in Python. Sounds interesting? Yes. Let's begin. And welcome to day 49. I can't believe it's one more day and then we'll reach half of this tutorial. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So it's day 49. Yesterday I talked about PDF generation and then I was like, why not make a project out of it? So today we will be building a Python diary maker. I don't know if people still use diary, but I know that a long time ago everybody had diaries that you fill in what you did for the day in the diary. But I'm not sure people still use diary. Do you have a diary? Let me know in the comment section. So today I would be building a PDF diary maker, a Python diary maker. So what we'll be using, we'll want to get the user, want to be able to specify the date, month, and the year because diaries uses the date. So you have to write like a diary every day. So they have the date, month, and year. So I want my user to be able to specify the date, month, and the year. And then each entry, I want it to be appended to a PDF file. And I want the user to be able to view their previous entries. So what I would be using is the FPDF that we used also yesterday to generate our PDF files. And because we'll be getting the date from the user, I'll be working with datetime and I'll be working with OS to handle file paths. And let's start. So the first thing is to install the pip.fpdf if you don't already have it installed. And these are the packages we'll be using datetime. We'll be using OS. So like I said, what do we want to do? We want to get the date from the user. We want the user to enter the date at the beginning. And then we want to get the input for that particular day. So the first thing I want to do is to get the date from the user. So I would have my function add diary entry. And then what entries am I trying to get? I want to get the year, I want to get the month, and I want to get the date from my user. So I will use an input statement to get the year, date, and month. So this I want the user to enter what year, what date, and what month. And then I want to format the date in the year, month, and date because I want to be able to display it in my PDF that this entry is for this date or this month and this year. So this is what I've gotten. I want to get the year from the user, I want to get the month, and I want to get the date. And then I want to format it. So this is the year, then dash, so it will be like 2024 December, and the date is 19. So then I want to validate the date because I told you that anytime you're working, you should be able to kind of like anticipate what your user might input to be able to prevent you getting an error on anything. And the way you do that is by using the try and accept. You can't always like estimate like this is what my users will write, but for most times you can say, oh, if it's not in the correct format, then I don't want my function to fail. I just wanted to like put like a nice message that it is an invalid format, please try again. Because if you don't have that every single time that there's a wrong input, your functions will fail. And you do not want that. We want our function to be user friendly. So this is how I'm doing. I have my try and accept. So this is the format that I'm using. So if it's not the correct format, then I want to print out that it is an invalid date and please try again. What is the date string? This is it that we formatted here, and we're formatting it in Y in year, month, and date. To learn more about this, you should watch our video on date time, and that was day 6, so you can understand what this is. So I've gotten the input from my user and then I've validated the date is correct. What next do I want to do? So they've entered their date. Now I want them to enter the information of that particular date. So I've gotten the year, month, and date. Then what is the diary entry for that particular date? So I want them to enter the text for that date. So that's what I will do next. Another input statement that please enter your thoughts for the day. So you see now we've used four input statements so far. One for the year, one for the month, and one for the date. And then I'm getting the thoughts for the day. So you see, it's writing the entry for which entry for the entry dates that were formatted here. And then another input, enter your thoughts for the day. And then when they enter the thoughts for the day, I want to be able to save this. I want to be able to save this in a TXT file. And then later, if they want it in a PDF file, you can then convert it from a TXT file to a PDF file. I will explain why we're using a TXT file as we go on. So this is my TXT file. So this is all the entries that my users put and the date. I want it to be saved in this TXT file. So then let's open the file to save it in. So with open entry file, what is my entry file? My entry file is my TXT file. So I want it open and I want to write my entry date. What is my entry date? The date that we validated there. And what is my entry text? The text that we got from the users. And you see, I'm using a new line symbol because I want there to be on a new line. I want it to be formatted well so you can be able to see the information of the date and then the entry for that day separately. And then when this is done, I want to print out a message that, oh, your entry for this particular date has been saved. And so I would have my print statement here that prints out that your entry has been saved for the day. Don't, I hope you understand and I hope I'm not losing you. So all the entries for the day, we're trying to add entries. We're adding the entries for the year, the month, and the date. And we're also adding the entry for the text. And we're saving it into this file, the diary entries.txt file. It will create the file if you don't already have it. And if you have it, it will append your new entries to that file because we don't want to lose the previous entries that we have. So every new entries will be appended to our diary entries.txt file. So then this is printing a message that, oh, your entry has been saved in that file. So now I want to give the option that to generate to PDF to convert the TXT file to PDF file. So we have our first function. Now we want to generate our PDF file based on our entry file. So I would have a second function that would be generate PDF. And then what is my PDF file name? Also, we're using diary entries.txt, so you might as well use diary entry.pdf, but you can name it any file name that you like. It can be your name. For me, it's diary entry.pdf. It's whatever you want it to be. So then I want to check because now this our generate PDF is dependent on this add diary entry. If we don't have this diary entries.txt, then there's nothing to generate. So first I want to check that does the diary.txt file, does it exist before we even start our generation process? That's it. You always have to think like that. Does this file exist? If it doesn't exist, then this function is useless because there's nothing to generate from if the txt file doesn't exist. So that's the first thing that we'll check, and we'll be using our OS. That remember we imported OS here, and this is why we imported it. And you should know that the file, because the files that we're using is going to be in the same directory as your Jupyter notebook. Otherwise, you would have to specify your file path in your entry files and your PDF file name. But since we did not specify it, it's going to be in the same directory as my Jupyter notebook. So now I want to create a PDF. Remember yesterday I was able to create a PDF by using our PDF. If you have not watched yesterday's video, you should watch it because this is what we use to create our PDF. We use PDF equals to FPDF, and we use PDF.add page, and then we set our font. You can choose any font type that you want and then your font size. So now I want to read the content of my entry file. What is my entry file? My entry file is my TXT file that I have here. I want to read the content to use it to generate, to use it to be able to output my PDF file. I remember when we talked about reading from a file, I said by using with open, when you use with open, you do not have to close the file anymore. But when you just use open, then you always have to use file.close. So that's how people just usually use with open, so you don't forget to like close your file. I have my file open and then it's reading the content. What file again? The entry.txt file. And then it's reading the content of the file. And then I want to output that content into my PDF file. So it will put the content of my TXT into my PDF, and I want it to print out a message showing that, oh, your file, in your information or your diary entry has been saved into this file. So check it out in this file. Always be careful with your indentation to ensure that your code doesn't fail. So this is how we output the file by using pdf.output. And what is pdf.file name? What is our PDF hyphen underscore file name? That is our diary entries of PDF. And then we want to print out a message that your diary entry has been saved to PDF underscore file name. So we already have our two functions, our function that adds diary entries and our function that generates PDF. What else can we do? We can also view previous entries. If you want to see the previous entries, I want to be able to like view it. In the practice questions, I want you to also add the delete if you want to delete existing entries. We will not do that in this tutorial, but you can try it out to be able to view and also be able to delete. So now let me show you how you would want to view your previous entries. So we have used two functions to add and to generate PDF. Now let's have our function to view our previous entry. So this we're displaying the entry stored in a TXT file. We're using our OS because we're trying to check if the file exists, and then we'll open and then we'll read the file. If it doesn't exist, we'll print out a message that there's no entries. Start writing your file entry, your first entry. So this is all our functions put together. So now let's make it work. Let's put it all together by using a while loop. So I want the user to be able to choose first what they want to do. Do they want to add a new entry? Do they want to view previous entry? Do they want to generate a PDF? Or do they want to exit? So we'll be using a while loop and an if statement. That so if they choose one, I want one to be to add entry. I want two to be to view entry. I want three to be generate PDF, and I want four to be the final goodbye. So let me show you how I will achieve that. So while this is true, I want one. If they enter one, and then that will be to add diary entry. So if the choice is one, I want to call the add diary entry function. That means we're starting the process. If the choice is two, I want to call the view previous entries. Where is my view previous entries? That is this. I want to call this function. And then if the choice is three, I want to generate PDF. Where is my generate PDF? I want to call this. And then if the choice is four, I want to break because that means that's the end. And again, if they enter something that is not one, two, three, four, I don't want it to fail. I just want it to show that it's an invalid choice and they should try again. So this is our code. So let's run it. So let's run our imports to import all the datetime, OS, and FPDF that we need. And let's run this as well. So you see we have the options that we specified here, 1, 2, 3, 4, to add new entry, to view previous entry. So let's see if I can start. If I put 6, there's an invalid choice. Please try again. That was the S that we have there. I know now we currently don't have any entries. So let us also test that. Is no diary entries found. Start writing your first entry. So you see, this is why we put all those checks in place so it doesn't fail at any point in time. So now, number one, we want to add a new entry. So enter the year, it's current 2024, and then the month, it is December, and then the date, it is 19th of December. So enter. So what are your thoughts for today? I am so happy today. today because tomorrow is day 50. I'm so happy today because tomorrow is day 50. And then enter. And you see your entry for today has been saved. And then let's click on generate PDF so we can see our results in a PDF file. So generate PDF, and you see your diary entry has been saved to diaries entry.pdf. So now let's open our PDF. This is our PDF diary entries.pdf, and we have the dates and we have the entries. You can make it look nicer if you want to add images and what have you. You can add it to it. So let's continue. So now if I want to, since we already have an entry, now I can view the entries in my PDF. So if I click on 2 and enter, you see your previous entry, and this is your entry because today is day 50. Tomorrow is day 50. So now I want to add a new entry. So I want to add a new entry, and then what is the date? If I want to add a new entry for tomorrow is the 20th, which is day 50. So then what are my thoughts for, well, this is tomorrow, not today. So today is day 50. And then if I click on enter, your entry has been saved. So our entry for December 20th has been saved. If you want to view it, we will click on generate PDF because we want to view it as a PDF, and then we see that the entries has been saved in this PDF. We have the txt file. Why do we have the txt file that I said earlier? It's because all our entries are saved in this file, and then it is easier for us to append. You see, this is our entries that we are appending every time, and then we can now generate it to our PDF files. So let me open the PDF file, not files, it's just one file. And we have our entry for the 19th of December, which is day 49, and we have the entry for day 50, which is the 20th of December. So this is how we've been able to make our own very simple Python diary maker. Try it out. Currently we're able to just view and add. Also have the option where you can delete. So how would you do that? And is it possible for you to convert this to a fine graphic user interface? Let me know your solution in the comment section. And I'll see you tomorrow when it is day 50. It is 50 days tomorrow. Okay. See you tomorrow. That is it for this video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And as always, the link to the Jupyter Notebook is in the description. So check it out and let me know what you think of our video so far. We're going. Thank you. Bye for now.